what's going on? I'm Nathaniel. This is A+, and I'm here with Christian.
Hey, we've been talking.
We have.
This whole time.
That's what we do actually. We're pretty good at it, I must say.
I'm getting there, but you're definitely like a master. You're like the best at it. You were gonna ask me something, and I'd like you to do it now.
Oh yeah, well we were just talking about our experience with adventure games and that kind of thing, and very similar genres is visual novels. My first experience with visual novel games was the Ace Attorney series on the GBA and DS, depending on what country you're in. So, are you a fan of that series?
The Ace Attorney series, I've actually never played.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've never played the Ace Attorney. I think, because I had a dual screen. I had a DS, and but I couldn't afford games when I was in high school because I didn't work at all.
Right.
So I wasn't able to really buy any games for it. So what I did get, once I saved up a bit of like Christmas money or whatever, was this cartridge called an M3.
Okay.
It was like an R4, but it was different. An M3, you put a little micro SD card into it with all your data on it and like firmware and all this stuff, and you could play DS games that you downloaded, ROMs and stuff like that.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So I did download ROMs for the Ace Attorney games that were on DS, and tried to play.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think I understood really this was again at the time before I was really getting into gaming yet.
Right.
Right. I wanted to have the games there, and I got a bunch of like Mario games, Pokemon games on my DS, whatever. And I wanted to try that because I heard a lot of good things, but I didn't get it, so I couldn't really grasp what the concept was, and I was a huge failure.
Okay, that's too bad.
I think now I could probably get into it.
You probably love them.
We should play one of them.
We should. That would be really fun. They're really great games. They're you know what they're about though, yeah.
Oh yeah.
As a defense attorney.
It's lawyer stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's like it's like Law and Order, the anime or something like that. Half of it's investigation, half of it's
ridiculous and silly.
Yes, it's very anime-esque, over the top kind of action stuff like that. It's very fun. It's very fun. There's 5 games in the series now. 5 main games. There's some spin-offs or whatever. So yeah, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, Justice for All, Apollo Justice. I think you'll particularly like that one. And then Spirit of Justice, I think. Maybe there's 6. Anyways, I can only think of 5 if there is.
I'm gonna look up this whole series. Let's see, Ace Attorney series.
Apollo. What's his name? Apollo.
Dual Destinies.
Oh, Dual Destinies is number 5.
3DS.
Dual Destinies is number 5. Spirit of Justice is number 6. Okay, there's 6 then.
2013 Dual Destinies came out in Japan.
Dual Destinies was my favorite. Dual Destinies is so good.
Is it good? Ooh, okay. That's a 3DS one though. I don't think I can emulate that. Just kidding.
Phoenix Wright is the main character. Apollo Justice was his first protege, and then Dual Destinies introduces Athena Sykes, who's like a psychoanalyst.
Athena and Apollo, huh?
Yeah, you can sense the theme there. So
yeah.
Okay, so what we're doing here is we're at the Academy of Science. In order to get in, we have to take a Academy of Science test. So I'm about to take that test for you. And in case you're one of those people who are watching this while you cook or something and aren't looking at the screen, I will dictate the questions out loud.
You're so good at this part.
What is the purpose of science? To explore new worlds and new civilizations. To discover the true meaning of life, the universe, and everything. To find out what dimension the missing socks go to when they're washed. To provide telepathic communication with ants. Huh. So the first one, of course, is a reference to Star Trek. The second one being a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide. And the other two just being silly, I think. So I would
go with the second one.
Yeah, same here. Yep, correct. A true scientist would be willing to hitchhike to the end of the galaxy for answers. Ha 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 ha.
It's so cheesy.
Question 2. What is the goal of the true scientist? A. To get tenure at a major university and be set for life. B. To impress babes with your towering intellect. C. To plot to take over the world. D. All of the above. And I'm going to go ahead and say all of the above.
Yeah.
A scientist has a diverse portfolio of desires and goals. Question 3. What does every scientist need? To be able to spell Beetlejuice. To be able to tell the difference between a hawk and a handsaw. A diploma from the Academy of Science in Samaria. Or a perpetual motion machine.
I mean, perpetual motion is...
Is that a Jules Verne reference or an H.G. Wells reference?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so, right? Anyways, it's a diploma from the Academy of Science. You are definitely a degree above the ordinary. Oh.
That feels good to hear.
What is a quark? A bartender on a space station. A measure of weight, a particle of an atom, or all of the above. So, for those of you...
A particle of an atom.
So, it's all of those. A quark is also a measure of weight for dark matter, I think. And Quark is also a character on Star Trek Deep Space Nine who is the bartender. So, yeah. Correct. A true scientist looks for all the answers.
We should do Deep Space Nine done right.
It's already been done right, as far as I'm concerned. So, I think I've mentioned, maybe I haven't mentioned this, but Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek series. So,
Oh, okay.
I know you're not a big Star Trek fan, but I think, I don't know, I think you would be willing to give Deep Space Nine a try, because it's completely different than all the other Star Trek series. So, because it's not about a spaceship exploring the galaxy. It's about it's about a space station in the middle of nowhere, you know, and the people.
There's like 20 different. There's like 20 different series at this point for Star Trek.
There's 7, but yes, there are a lot. So it's
well, there's Picard too. Like there's Star Trek.
Yeah,
Picard.
I'm counting that. So there's the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, Discovery, and Picard. So.
That's it?
Yeah.
Isn't there another one in there? I swear there was another one.
Not yet. Not yet. They are working on an animated series called Lower Decks, which is going to be sort of done in the style of like Futurama or something like that.
They already did that. It's out.
Oh, they did? Oh, shows you what I know. Okay, so there's 8 series, and if you count that one, so, and then there's tons of movies.
My uncle showed me that.
Oh, okay.
We watched a bit of it and we had a laugh.
Okay, well there you go.
While he was quarantining.
Okay, well there you go. I didn't know that was out.
Yeah,
it shows you what I know about anime.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I haven't been keeping up on that because I wasn't really interested, but question.
It's very much your typical animated adult show.
Right. I figured as much.
Hmm.
Question number whatever we're on. Why is science essential? Without science, the world would be destroyed by ignorance and superstition. It keeps scientists employed. Were it not for science, gravity wouldn't exist, and everyone would fly around everywhere. All of the above. Oh no. Oh no. I'm incorrect. I picked all of the above. Tried to outsmart this test, did ya? Caught ya. Oh no. Oh well. That was not the correct
I think it was the first one.
Oh well. We'll just move on to the next question. Next question. What is the essence of the scientist? A profound mind in a round body. Brains, brilliance, and a body that won't quit. An incredible intellect and a flair for the savoir-faire. Or subtlety and a bad temper. I'm leaning towards the second one. Brains, brilliance, and a body that won't quit.
Okay.
Oh no!
I could get down with that.
Incorrect. Scientists are immune to flattery. However, I like the way you think. Oh no, we've come so far only to fail at the end.
I can't believe it.
What is the Academy of Science? A. The domain where trained brains are disdained. A gathering place for the greatest minds, a trading zone for towering intellects, and an excellent and exciting environment for experiments. The best place in the world to be. A collection of backbiting, plagiarizing, criticizing crazy old coots who think they should rule the world. A place where people who have no lives tell other people how to run their lives. I don't know. I don't know.
I would go probably with the second one, right?
Yes! Oh, you got it. You got us through that one. Correct. You have obviously come to the right place. What is magic? A. Superstitious hogwash. B. Ludicrous legerdemain, deceiving weak and shallow minds. C. An irrational ideology of incredible idiocy. D. All of the above. All of the above. Science shall send superstitious stupidity to oblivion.
Wait, but we do magic.
Yeah, we do, but that kind of argument always seems weird in a universe where people actually do fly and stuff. But whatever. What is a lab assistant?
It makes scientists sound like the naysayers.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like flat earthers or something. If we get this correct, this will be the last question. What is a lab assistant? Number 1, an underpaid undergraduate with delusions of tenure. 2, a bright young student with a brilliant career in the tremendous field of science research. 3, the person whose brilliant thoughts and studious research gets plagiarized by the professor. Number 4, chief petri dish and bottle washer.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, very tough. I kind of want to pick the insulting answer, but I feel like that would probably not be correct.
A bright young student with a brilliant career in the tremendous field of science research, I would think.
Okay. Correct. Congratulations. Welcome to the Academy of Science.
My sister is a scientist, so...
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Congratulations. You are now able to try to be a scientist. Lucky guy.
She got a master's degree in neuroscience.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the dumb one in my family.
And here we are on the inside of the Academy of Science, and actually Gort resides here because, like I mentioned, he was a Frankenstein monster built by Dr. Mobius, I think his name is?
That would make sense.
Not Professor Mobius, that's the villain from Fallout New World, Or Blues, but... Oh, this is Dr. Pretorius, my bad.
You come at a good time. All you need to do is pass the final test on the screen over there. Then you can start your training. I am Dr. Pretorius. I shall be your mentor and advisor. Gort, over there, is my senior... You are wise to ask that. Pizza is the essence of scientific principles. A well-designed pizza is like a well-designed experiment, balanced and planned in every aspect. The crust must be crisp and to the point, like the hypothesis one seeks to prove by experimentation. The sauce must be the careful combination of the various substances distilled to their essence, like the exploration of a hypothesis of the experimentation. The cheese must be binding, like the culmination of the exploration of a hypothesis of the experimentation. The anchovies and artichokes, which are necessary for the truly well-designed pizza, are there because they happen to be my favorite pizza toppings. When you come to the...
So our next objective. So there's two things we're doing here, Christian, besides just chatting with people. I don't know if you noticed, but behind Dr. Pretorius, there was like a skeleton that looked like a giant bat or something on the wall.
Sexy.
And we actually need that in order to, we're going to build a flying machine that's going to get us to Hydra Island, kind of like the story of Icarus.
Dear God.
So we need a few things for that. Number one, we need...
Careful, Icarus.
We need Pegasus feathers, which we have.
Yep.
We need honey from a beehive. We don't have that yet.
We do not have that.
And we need the skeleton on the back of the wall on Science Island here, which we will have. We'll have soon. Now, in order to be able to get to that skeleton, we have to do two things. First, we have to pass the science aptitude test.
Oh my God.
Another
test.
And second, we have to give Dr. Pretorius an artichoke and anchovy pizza. So, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not joking about that. He really likes artichoke and anchovy pizzas. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, you know what? Actually, anchovies on pizza, not so bad.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've had anchovies on pizza. So.
What I like to do with my anchovies is I chop them up into a paste, and I mix it together with garlic, not garlic, with pesto and oil, olive oil. I mix it all up. I put some salt in there, and before my pizza goes in the oven, I spread that on top of my cheese.
Nice, nice, very cool.
And that way I have like a very anchovy pesto-y mix, and it's very salty and good.
Nice, that does sound good.
And the oil cooks the cheese even more crispy.
Wow, that does sound great. Check out our sister series, Recipes with Christian. A+ Kitchen.
You know, not so far off with that actually. I've been thinking of starting a cooking show with my mom.
Nice, that sounds great. I'd watch it.
Because we have an interesting kitchen sort of relationship, her and I,
nice.
Where it's like we both trust and respect each other as chefs,
right?
But we know when to call each other out and say, no, don't do that. And it creates some bickering that's always interesting.
Right.
So expect that at some point.
Nice. You'll have at least one subscriber from me. Science aptitude test. Question number 1, anatomy. Name part of the skeletal structure. A. Funny. You didn't think science was humorous. Ho 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 ho. Get this right, or you'll get a sternum lecture. You'll never metatarsal you didn't like. Oh. Okay, all of the above. Geology.
All of the above.
What is nice? Spelled G-N-E-I-S-S. A cold lemonade on a hot day. A resort city in France. A foliated metamorphic rock. None of the above. It is a metamorphic rock. So the one geologist joke I know. Geometry. What is a polygon? A. Something that removes polyunsaturated fat from food. And if you call in the next 12 minutes, I'll throw in a polygon absolutely free. An X-parrot. Ha! A closed...
Come on, man.
A closed plane figure bounded by straight lines. All of the above. Well, it's actually a closed plane figure bounded by straight lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This quiz hurts my feelings.
It's all puns. Astronomy. Name a star. Mel Gibson. The Crab Nebula. Betelgeuse, but spelt J-U-I-C-E. And Sol. That would be Sol, S-O-L. That would be Arston.
I mean, yeah, Sol probably.
Chemistry. What is a solution? The result when a substance is homogeneously mixed with a liquid. The answer to the previous question. When there can be but one euchen. Oh, a solution. That's great. I forgot about this aptitude test. This is brilliant. Anyways, it's the first one. There we go. And we get a password.
This is upsetting.
Your secret scientific laboratory access code is science, all caps.
When there's too many puns in a row, I start getting upset.
I loved it. Not gonna lie. The one at the end when there could only be one Yushin was so bad. It was so terrible. It wrapped around for me to be almost brilliant. So just a little bit. Quark blocks.
I'll be honest, it did not do that for me.
Okay. Just wrapped around and strangled you?
Yeah, it wrapped around my neck and choked me to death, yeah. Oh, you know what I want right now? I want beef jerky.
Oh, wow.
So I'll have some.
Okay, there you go.
Excuse the... God, oh my god, I'm knocking everything over.
I hope you're going to share with the class. Just kidding, don't worry about it. So, remember how I mentioned all of the other food on the food cart besides the fruit was going to be for one of the quests? So, Merrick, the food stand guy, sells artichoke pizzas, but not anchovy and artichoke pizzas. So we're going to have to find our anchovies somewhere else.
I'm pretty sure you can fish for those.
Yeah, there you go. I was literally going to ask you, where do you think we might find anchovies?
Welcome.
Anchovies are
May I aid you in
are ocean fish.
Yes. So I'm gonna
So
go ahead and
good thing we're in Greece.
so I went ahead and bought an artichoke pizza. So have we met someone already in the game who seems to be pretty close to the sea? Pretty in tune with that.
There's that fellow what's in a boat.
That's right, Andre. We're actually gonna go and talk to him and get him to sell us some anchovies.
Oh, he's got some already?
He does.
That man knows how to live. Steal the boat.
No, we're paladins.
It was an option. It just like stuck out to me.
Yeah.
It's like you ever get intrusive thoughts where it's just like,
Oh yeah.
your brain is like, do this mean thing, and you're like, no, not
Just
now.
to like a complete stranger too. You'll be like, push them.
Yeah. So my life is that all the time. Luckily,
I think it happens every
I have a
time.
great filter. I have an excellent filter, and it doesn't always happen. But because I have ADHD, my brain is like, do this always.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And then I don't, because I'm on to the next idea.
Calimera. I am Andre.
Okay, I think so. Now we're talking to Andre. We have to ask him about fishing.
Most
Fishing, I
fishermen on Marie
think.
live in the villages outside town. That is,
Fishery.
used to live
Fishery.
There. If you ever
The
wish to
art
go
of
for a boat
fishing.
ride, I'll be happy to take you around the bay or to the Silmaria is the only city on the island of Marie. Tritons are half men.
If you had a
half
choice between
mercenaries are armed
vegetarian,
soldiers who have been sailing into
vegan,
the
and
fishing villages
pescatarian,
and
which would you
driving all the
choose?
Definitely
fish. I am out on this
pescatarian.
dock on most mornings. I fish for most of the day.
That's right, you like eating fish.
I
do.
come back in the night. I know the waters
I
around
think I've mentioned
Cepesas.
before. I'm
It
very
was
sad
nice to see a new
sometimes.
face around here.
Because
It was good speaking with you. Yes.
I really like fish and shellfish and that kind of stuff, and my mom's allergic, so we don't get to eat it as often as we'd like.
I am very fond of pizza. This is very
Man,
kind of you to share this with me.
a shrimp pasta for me is like the perfect spring dish.
Oh, Nathaniel made an oopsie. I just gave our pizza away to the fisherman. That was not what I meant to do.
No, it wasn't.
Well, gonna get the food cart guy some more business as I buy a second one.
Welcome. May I aid you?
So, I want to talk a little bit about this particular quest a little bit, because the artichoke anchovy pizza is pretty infamous amongst the Kiefer brothers.
Okay.
Because in order to make the pizza, like, Andre doesn't just give you the fish and put them in on the pizza. You have to figure out how to put it on the pizza. But it's not
Okay.
intuitive at all. You know how when you open the screen, it makes that creepy like wow, wow, wow sound, and the thing's like big in the box or whatever.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to go to your inventory and select the pizza, so it's spinning around in the box, and you drag the artichokes into the picture of the pizza, and that's how you drop them on. The manual does not explain you can even do that. And never again in the game are you required to ever combine items.
Calimera, are you interested in taking a
Not
boat
even
ride
in any
today?
of the other games?
No. Well, yeah. Well, remember, this is the only game that was on Windows, so the interface was completely different. So.
That's right.
I catch only a few fish each day. This is a bad time of... Small fish are usually young fish who are avoiding the bigger predators. I use a rope net to catch them. For anchovies, I must use a cloth net. I mostly use anchovies to attract bigger fish, but they can be eaten. Would you like some? I am happy to share. Here, take a few.
But, so yeah, I don't know how you were supposed to figure that originally, but luckily Chris managed to figure it out first. And told me.
Because he's a genius.
Yeah, exactly. And told me, because there was no way 10-year-old Nathaniel was figuring that out. So.
He has literally the biggest brain. Your brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
Huge, gigantic brain energy.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
If I was a king, I'd make him my head engineer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That would be the only smart thing to do. So. Where would
As my advisor, you would advise that.
Where would Richard be in your hierarchy? Because I think you mentioned you would want Thomas as like your military advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And you already mentioned Chris
or the head of the guard.
Head of the guard, yeah, captain of the guard. So where would Richard be if Richard's watching this?
That's a good question. Richard is a very loyal person. I might make him my my diplomat.
Oh, okay.
Like the person that would go to other kingdoms and make deals.
Oh yeah, I think he would excel at that.
Yeah. If I'm king, that's what I would do. If I wasn't king, I would want that job. Because I'm really, really charismatic in that kind of way.
Right.
I love diplomacy and all that kind of stuff. It's a very attractive sort of job to me.
Yes. Whereas I don't think I would have any real interest in it. So.
No?
Yeah, no.
I think politics are so... it's such a... I don't know, not a lot of people like it. I don't even like politics, but diplomacy in general, like... That aspect of politics is always cool to me. Just like working with people is always fascinating.
Yes. I like politics in the hypothetical. Sometimes it's really interesting to read about, what's come before. Actually, now that I think about it,
like the idealist, right?
Yeah, even as I say it, I'm like, I think what I really like is the history of it, which just goes back to me liking history. So.
Historical yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was just gonna be like, I really like the history of politics. I'm like, doesn't that mean I like history then, not politics? So.
I mean, most of recorded history is politics. When you really think about it, like most of what gets recorded is more political,
Yeah. That's true.
And I think when you look back, that sort of is the scope of what you see, right? Like all actions and decisions made in the world eventually become another treadmill. Eventually just become political actions in the scope of the way we all look at history.
Yes.
All actions move society forward.
That's true.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, when you really think about, when I really think about it, that's really what that means to me, is that every action is inherently political.
It's true. It's true.
Under the scope of history, I mean. So I think that's interesting.
Having acquired for ourselves the artichoke anchovy pizza, having fed it to the scientists, we are now on the lookout for honey. Which I've just discovered. So I already knew where to find them, but there is a clue if you read one of the bulletin boards, like I was mentioning with the signs. They talk about these mysterious dragon stones scattered across the island, and that they keep getting smashed by some mysterious entity. Now, you're not privy to this because, of course, you haven't read the manual, but the backstory is that Marine was once upon a time assaulted by this terrible fire dragon.
Oh gosh.
And a great hero of old managed to defeat it and sent it into a eternal slumber. And 7 relics called dragon stones were put into place that keep the dragon asleep. And legend is if all 7 of the pillars are destroyed, the dragon will reawaken. So the fact that the stones are getting destroyed by someone is really bad news.
Well, we gotta stop that from happening, obviously.
Yes, but that is the dragon that's being referenced in the title of Dragonfire.
Thank gosh. Yeah. I was hoping for an answer.
Yes.
It was getting unbearable. I guess I should have read the manual. Let me see if there's a PDF for it.
I mean, if and when you purchase the full game, they all come with digital copies of the manuals, so it'll be in there.
Manual download. Oh, here we are. There's a PDF.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I figured as much. You actually.
Whoa. That's a cool cover.
Yeah, it's a very cool cover with the sword and everything. It's on the CD-ROM as well. So.
Look at that. Yeah. That's intense.
Yeah. No, it's great.
The dark face with like the lighting coming from above. Look at that chiseled jawline on that man. Wow.
What a hero. That's the jawline of a hero.
Wow. Yeah. That's what you want your heroes looking like. Dang, that's a big manual. Wow, that's a big manual.
Yeah, well, that's back in the day when they actually gave you manuals of some real size and heft, you know. You could actually.
Yeah, well, you wanted to explain how the game works.
Yeah, but you could just have a fun day, just like reading the manual. You know, I remember that as a kid. I have very fond memories of reading like old PC manuals while I'm eating lunch or something. Because you know, you could spend, you know.
I was never that like intense on manuals and reading that kind of stuff, but I did the only the only strategy guide I ever owned for a game was for Star Fox Adventures.
Right.
Because it was the first game I ever first actual adventure game I ever played.
Right. So I'm going to talk to you about one of the cruelest, most harshest aspects of the game. And so for the right that follows Hydra Island, I won't spoil anything else about it right now, but part of it requires you to gain this very special goo that allows you to windproof something. The goo that you need can only be found on Hydra Island. If you do not get the goo, you cannot finish the game. There are no indications that the goo can only be found on Hydra Island, and because it's required to build another mobility device, there's no way to return to Hydra Island if you miss the goo the first time. So what you need to do is, first of all, you have to have bought an amphora from my favorite character, Wolfie, who we're about to talk to. And you also have to have known that the goo was important and picked up some goo while you're on Hydra Island before you fight the Hydra. So,
oh my god.
it is the single most cruel aspect of the entire game. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the first time I played the game, I didn't know that until 2 hours later.
Oh my god.
So luckily I had it.
So
luckily I had an old save. I was able to reload. But so.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is always a pleasure to meet someone new. Welcome to Silmaria. I am Wolfie, an artist, an artisan of Grecian urns and amphoria.
Wolfie is a really, really nice guy. He's super happy to be here. He's a dog. He's a dog man.
We love the
he's
dog
a
man.
canine. And
So am I.
and he's just and like a proper dog sort of character. He is really, really happy to be here, kind of thing. He's just super excited to be around, kind of thing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am most grateful.
And he's just a super vibrant character. I really like him. So this thing that we've purchased, the amphora, that's going to allow us to collect the goo. They're very,
Okay.
very important. There's going to be a couple places in the game where we're going to need them. So luckily I remembered that before we went through all the rigmarole of getting to Hydra, or, even worse, overwriting my save file. So, that could have been a nightmare.
Yeah, that would have been rough.
Yeah. We have a lot of save files.
Luckily,
but
we've been making saves all
we've
throughout.
been rotating the saves. So I mean, worst comes to worst, we would have lost an hour or something, but it's still an hour.
Nathaniel, we have to start at Nathaniel 2.
Ugh.
Start all the way
Ugh.
over back at Nathaniel
Back
2.
at Nathaniel 2. Back to the beginning. It's like Candyland, or Chutes and Ladders. Slide all the way back to 1.
God, that's the worst.
Yeah.
The last time I played that game was on like a first date with a girl.
Really?
Right before COVID happened, yeah.
Huh.
And I think it was in January before COVID happened.
What a date.
And we went to a board game cafe.
Oh, like Snakes and Lattes or something like that?
That's exactly where we went. And we played a bunch of different games, including Chutes and Ladders.
Right.
And I love Snakes and Ladders because it's luck based, and you just like kind of thing.
Right.
So it was a lot of laughs and fun. And we dated up until like May of the pandemic, sort of thing.
Right. You beat her in Mousetrap and it was all over. No, I was kidding.
That's it. It was over.
I owned Mousetrap.
I love Mousetrap.
I
I think Mousetrap is so cool.
was one of the games we acquired at like a not a garage sale but like a Value Village kind of store. I don't know if it was Value Village or not, but one of those kind of places. And it was missing all of the cheese tokens. So one afternoon, Mom, Chris, and I sat and cut out a whole bunch of triangular-shaped pieces of paper out of the construction, like Bristol board thing, so we could have little cheese tokens, which we were supposed to have for the game, right?
Right. Look at you guys go, just making your own fun.
Yep, that was that. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely one of those games where it was more fun to just watch the contraption go than actually play it properly, but...
Of course.
So we're gonna stop here, leave everybody in the lurch, but look, next episode we're gonna fight the Hydra, and it's gonna be epic.
It is going to be epic. You guys better like that video quick before we get to the end here. I see the videos like the
little,
what's it called at the
bar,
bottom?
the progress bar.
The bar,
whatever.
yeah, the progress bar. We're getting to the end
getting
there.
to the end. Like you have limited time to hit that button. I mean, I guess you can hit it when it's over, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah. You want it to still be talking because any silence in your life will bring you great sadness.
In fact, you should probably.
That got too real.
In fact, you should probably. You should probably go back and rewatch all of our videos, not just because we want the views, but because you need to keep that conversation going. So.
True. It's true. Gotta always have something happening.
Christian, what are you telling us in the comments?
Today, I want to hear about. What do I want to hear about? I kind of want to hear about, like, what other sort of like game. What are those places called? Like Chuck E. Cheese and like Dave and Buster's kind of places, you know?
Right.
Like, what's your favorite game at one of those?
Yeah, or Palladium or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I want to hear about your favorite game at those.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I usually like the more tactile stuff, like the basketballs where you shoot them in the hoops.
Yes.
I really like those.
Yeah.
Anyway, remember to subscribe, everyone.
Please do that. We'll see you soon. I think I mentioned before that maybe it wasn't to you, maybe it was to Thomas or Richard, but Chris and I had a tradition. Every year we went to Palladium, and we would pick one like light gun game, you know, like Time Crisis or House of the Dead or something, and we would beat it all the way through.
Wow.
That would be what we would do, because what we would do is we buy those time cards where you had unlimited credits, but you had only 2 hours or whatever. And so we'd be like, okay, we have 2 hours to beat this game. And it was so much fun. And eventually we stopped doing it because we beat all of the light gun games at Palladium. So.
Oh my god, that's so intense.
Yeah, but it was.
That's a lot of.
It was super fun. So.
I went one time to Palladium, in 2007, I believe. Oh, yeah. And then I had a sleepover. I was like 12, I think. It's for my friend's 12th birthday. And all I remember from that was not enjoying the arcade games very much because I didn't get it. I think there was one that I really liked, though. It was the Jurassic Park one.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like in the car.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
cool.
One's cool. I've done that one too.
That one was great. Yeah, I didn't get that much of a kick, but afterward we watched cartoons in his basement, and then they went on the porn area of Newgrounds, and they were like, check this out. And they were showing me all this like porn games and stuff on Newgrounds, and I was like, my world was opened, Nathaniel.
Newgrounds porn games.
Yeah, they have like
I know
animations
I know.
and stuff. There's a whole portal.
I am sadly aware. Yes.
But I had no exposure to any of that stuff. I was like an innocent little baby being shown the whole world. But they were like, check this out. And I was like, my God, look at this wonderful world before me. And everything took a turn for the worse after that.
Oh, boy.
My whole life went downhill.
Thanks, Newgrounds.